How does a local conflict in Eastern Europe cause a global catastrophe? Why does all the food on earth depend on Ukraine? How much will food prices change? What kind of chaos awaits the stock exchange? And when can we expect a famine? Let's figure it out. On February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded the Ukraine as predicted by many. However, it seems that no one took their word seriously until it happened. We will not go into the details of the conflict, but we will talk about what exactly affects each one of us.
Surprisingly, Russia and Ukraine are the largest exporters of grain such as wheat, barley, and corn in the world. They amount to about a third of the world's volume, and since the beginning of March, most of the stocks have been blocked in the conflict territories.
From the first days of the war, the United Nations announced that the world was facing an acute shortage of grain, which could turn into a famine. There are literally 10 weeks of stocks left. And is it so scary? Just think about it. Life without bread.
Grain is one of the foundations of all food chains. In addition to various types of bread, pastries, pasta, which are also made from flour, grain is the main element in agriculture.
Livestock feed is produced from grain. Famine among cows, pigs, birds, and sheep will lead to reduction in their population, which means a shortage of meat and meat products. Everyone will suffer, from ordinary housewives to large franchise like McDonald's. The production of milk and dairy products from yogurts to cheese will be particularly affected. In addition, milk serum are used in the production of many other products, and this is just a tip of the iceberg.
It should be understood that the diet of billions of people around the world in a way depends on grain from Ukraine. Yes, a century ago it was difficult to imagine such a thing, but it is what it is. By the way, the market reacted almost instantly to the situation.
In early March, wheat prices went up by 50%. This has never happened, not even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now prices have rebounded a bit, which is quite natural, but the general trend for growth continues. The largest traders are trying to buy as much grain as possible. At the same time, it's not enough for everyone. Smaller traders are engaged in overbooking and earn good money. But can an ordinary person make money from a shortage of grain?
Wheat, a fairly stable asset in normal times, has become highly volatile, even surpassed some cryptocurrencies in some way. This means that the price fluctuates greatly within a day or even a week, and it's always a great opportunity to earn money.
Of course, not only raw materials alone, but also every asset connected to wheat went up. For example, stocks of producers of fertilizers, food, agricultural machinery, etc. For examples, on the IQ option platform, you can trade shares of one of the largest suppliers of combines and other equipment, FMC Corporation.
Just look at how highly volatile the asset is. It seems clearly that the price will rise, fall sharply, and then rise again. I would advise you to make deals as actively as possible, especially for growth.
But I don't agree with Tatenda. The shares have already risen on the back of the news in recent months, and now their prices will continue to consolidate. The prerequisites for this already exist. And if you want to test yourself and your ability to predict, follow the link in the description and register on IQ option platform. You will immediately have access to a demo account with $10,000, so you don't even have to risk your own savings.
How did it happen that the food security of the whole world turned out to be dependent on a single country? And why was no one ready for this? Well, in fact, there are alternative ways for grain. India, South America, and the United States, by joining forces, would be able to compensate for the lack of grain. That is just, as you know, trouble does not come alone.
Global importers relied on India, from which high export figures were expected. But due to the ongoing heat, in many places it even exceeded more than 45 degrees. Their crops were under threat. On May 13th, the Indian government put a ban on wheat exports, a terrible blow for many countries. And the United States was hit by a drought, which caused most farmers to sow more but gain less.
Despite all its potential, South America alone is not able to cope with the world's needs. In addition, the distance quite long and hence expensive to transport grain from Argentina to China, for example.
Don't forget that fuel prices have skyrocketed due to the war in Ukraine, and Russia, which was the world leading exporter of fertilizers, is under sanctions. Natural gas is an important component of the production of nitrogen fertilizers, and its price continues to grow rapidly.
Another side effect of the war is a shortage of sunflower oil. Ukraine supplied two-thirds of the world's volume to the world's market. All this suggests that we cannot avoid a famine. So when will it be? Not tomorrow and not even in a week. The cycle of grain production and consumption is measured annually. In fact, we're now eating what was harvested in the summer of 2021, which fortunately for us turned out to be quite fruitful. Yes, most of Ukraine's reserves have been blocked on the territory of the conflict, and world leaders and organizations are trying every possible way to establish supply chains. But even if they manage to do it, we cannot avoid starvation.
At the moment, a huge amount of acreage is hopelessly spoiled. In some places, fighting continues, other fields are not anymore suitable for planting anything, and some fields are even mined. There is no talk about any agriculture. Besides, the sowing season has already passed.
Experts say the next year we may not have almost half of the export volumes from Ukraine. We should have enough supplies for autumn and even for winter, but spring and the beginning of summer 2023 will be a very difficult time. So what can we do? The answer is simple: nothing.
Now it's time for the world organizations like the UN to show their effectiveness, to prove that they do not just take up a huge budget for nothing. The world is facing a huge challenge, and now everything depends on the leaders. If they find a way out soon, that means it won't affect us much. But during the COVID-19 pandemic, it showed clearly that, well, most systems don't work as well as we would like them to be.
In any case, it's too early to despair, and it is absolutely pointless to buy food for the future. As seen from history, humanity is able to overcome a lot. This has been the Triple T Trader channel. If you like this format and information, please like and comment. Good luck!